Hello fellow traders and welcome back to another overview of the Forex market. I do apologize for this video being a bit late. I normally do these Mondays or Tuesdays, but to be honest, the market has lacked direction. So I have been stalling it a bit, but here it comes. Not that we have too much direction, but I have some potential trading setups for you today. First of all, let's have a look at the spaghetti charts as you know them if you have been following me for a while. I should say, by the way, that normally I also look at the news or what could affect the markets, but to be honest, there's not too much macroeconomic news that we'll look at this week. Most of it, the Fed announcement, the large NFP numbers and so on, we are past them. So there's actually not very much to look at this week. This week, when we're looking at the stock markets, it is we are moving into the earnings season. So a lot of the stock market will be moved around by earnings, but there might still be something to look at here at the currency market. First of all, as you see here, we have these. If you don't know them, this is the relative strength. It is, for instance, the Canadian dollar here. When that is moving up, it means that it is moving up towards most of the other currencies down here, as well with the yen here. This is on a daily time frame. We also have the 4 hour and the 1 hour that I use more for a timing issue. But as you can see right now, there has been a lot of wobbly movement down here. The New Zealand dollar has really been shooting up, and there's still some movement in that, and I do suspect that we can get a little trade on that this week, maybe. We also have the Australian dollar moving up. We have the Canadian dollar being pushed down along with the British pound here. Then we have the Swiss franc, the black line, we have the Japanese yen, the red line, and we have the dollar here, the US dollar, the green line. They are all being pushed down. This correlates quite well with the overall market when we just take a look at the, let's take the SPY here, the S&P 500 ETF. We can see that the SPY has been moving up very violently these days, and that normally tends to show us some risk off in the currency market. So that is what we can see here, because both the Swiss franc, the US dollar and the Japanese yen tends to be a risk on risk off measurement here. We have the euro, it's going a bit sideways. So what we need to do, or what we would want to do, is, at least if we are trading on 4 hour and 1 hour time frame, is to pick some pairs where we are long, either in the New Zealand or the Australian dollar. Yeah, that's actually the only two really strong currencies here. And we might have a look at something where we are short the CAD, the pound, the Swiss, maybe the dollar. However, about the dollar, I'm not 100% certain about that, because if we are looking at the interest rates, let's just have a look at the 10-year yield here. As you can see, the interest rate has been going up. The drawings you can see here is that I have tried to make a very large bull flag on a weekly chart here, showing that the interest rate might move up towards 2.4%. This is at least a rule of thumb, somewhere in the spring, February, March or something like that. Right now it is being pushed a bit down. It was up just around 1.67% yesterday, which is very close to this former high here around 180 that we were up at in April. My guess is that we will blow past this due to economic numbers, inflation and so on. But right now it is stalling a bit. In November here we'll get some Fed announcement as to what they will do with their tapering, and my guess is that they will start tapering from November here with around 10 to $15 billion per month. Right now they're buying up bonds at a rate of $120 billion per month, and I think they will taper that with around $10 to $15 per month here from November or December. So that is pushing the bond market down, and that means the effective interest is being pushed up. This is the yield on the bonds. So When the yield in the United States is going up, we will also see the US dollar going up. So therefore, I'm not too keen of taking a short towards the dollar because, yeah, I actually think that this will turn around and we'll start to see some strength in the dollar. So what I'm kind of looking at is some sort of combination of a long in the New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar here towards some CAD, pound, Swiss, maybe yen. The yen has been dropping very much and it might be showing a bit of some resistance here. So if we try and have a look at the chart here, as you know, I have my weekly, I have my daily, I have my 4 hour, I have my 1 hour. This is a trade that I'm looking a bit at here. This is the New Zealand dollar CAD, and as you know, we have the New Zealand dollar that is strong, we have the CAD that is dropping, the Canadian dollar here. So looking at this combination makes sense. Let's just remove this arrow here. When we're looking at the weekly chart, we can see that it has found resistance down here around 0.863, something like this, and is moving up. Then what I'm looking at is the daily chart, which is exploding upwards here, finding a good bottom, and it is really showing some strength. Now, are we seeing some higher tops and higher bottoms on the 4 hour time frame? Yeah, not much actually. It's pretty much just going up in one straight line, but it has been stalling a bit here. So what I'm looking at the hourly time frame, if I had been up here in the middle of the night, I might have taken it sometimes here tonight. But right now we have been moving sideways, and if it breaks my alert line here, I think I will take a long in the New Zealand dollar CAD. It could also be, let's just have a look at the Aussie CAD, because the Aussie is also going upwards and the CAD going down. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same pattern here. We see this bottoming out, moving upwards, a good upwards trend here, at least up towards this area where it might meet some resistance. We can see the 4 hour time frame here making some good consolidation down here and then shooting upwards. I would like a bit of a retracement down to this area before we shoot further up, but right now it seems like it is bouncing quite nicely here on the 20 SMA here. So if it shoots up here, I don't know how well you know TradingView if you're using that, but you can put in a line here and then take up this, let me see, this little bar here and push this clock, and you can say that you want an alert line, then a little alert clock is coming up here, and shows you that you'll get a beeping sound every time when this is broken the next time by the price. So that is something to look for. Now we could also have a look at the New Zealand dollar pound. Let's just find that. Sorry, that is of course a pound, New Zealand dollar, not the New Zealand dollar pound. But as you can see here, we got the trend from the British pound starting to move downwards here, and the New Zealand dollar moving up. But we didn't get this move because we are only seeing the real direction in the spaghetti chart right now. So what I will be looking at here, we could have taken it before that, however, if we're looking at the strategy here. It's finding resistance, it's starting on the daily time frame to move downwards. As you can see here, we're having lower tops, lower bottoms, it's breaking down here, and when it does that, I'm trying to find the bounces on the 20 SMA. So there would have been some very nice trades moving downwards here. Right now there's not a perfect setup here. We can try and have a look at the New Zealand dollar Swiss, just to find that here. The New Zealand dollar still moving up. As you can see, a very good uptrend here. We'll just have to check if it meets some resistance. It actually does up here. That's not too perfect. I would not be comfortable taking this one straight up into this top here. Right here, down here actually would have been a perfect setup with a good pin bar here bouncing on the 20 SMA, a shot away from here, and we could easily have gotten some very good risk to reward upwards towards this. So right now, the only thing I'm actually kind of comfortable with is a potential long here in the New Zealand dollar CAD. And yeah, it's just a question of being a bit patient, because never rush into trades that you think will come your way. Right now we are seeing, if we're just looking at the hourly time frame here, We are seeing a very nice pin bar here, down almost touching the 20 SMA, shooting away from this. And if the buyers are getting in and we can get up into this area around the 0.8865, something like that, with some good movement here, then you can see former examples here. We can see kind of the same here, a good pin bar on the 20 SMA shooting upwards. We can see a pin bar on the 20 SMA here. We can see a couple of pin bars on the 20 SMA here. So pin bars on the 20 SMA along with a good trend on the overall top-down analysis on the daily, 4-hour and 1-hour time frame is normally a very, very good setup. So my advice to you, this is of course not directly trading advice because I'm not licensed to do that, but I can tell you that I'm looking for this, and if this breaks I will probably take it up here, but remember to do your own due diligence when it comes to that. Alright, that's all for now. I hope this was a bit of inspiration for you, and yeah, I'm looking forward to give you some new inspirations next week. I'll talk to you then. Take care of yourself and your money out there. Bye for now.